Today's best practice for change agent leaders is active waiting. Active waiting involves planning, commitment, and growth while waiting for outcomes. Welcome to Change Agent Leadership. I'm your host, Jonathan Hankin. We all experience waiting, sometimes for answers, opportunity, or clarity. Let's be honest. Can be frustrating, especially when the decision impacts something important. When coaching leaders, I often hear, I'm waiting on a decision. This could be about applying for a job, pursuing a career path, should I start my own business, and the list goes on. And when I ask, how's it going? The most common response is frustrating. When faced with a decision, many people feel stuck and frustrated because, one, they don't know which decision to take, or two, they fear making the wrong choice, so they don't do anything. If you've been here, you know how easy it is to get trapped in overthinking everything related to your situation. You start to question if you should even be considering change. You rationalize, saying, what am I trying to do here? It's not that bad. Or three, we generally dismiss our concerns only to revisit them in a few weeks or a few months and get more frustrated. At times, we also get in our heads, but active waiting is a way to break free from this cycle. It's something I've been practicing myself and with clients, and I want to share this best practice with you today. Instead of passively waiting, you can take intentional steps that move you forward. I use three key steps to shift from waiting to active waiting. So let's dive into those three steps. The first one is to seek out information through intentional planning, which is assumptions versus facts. One of the biggest barriers to taking actions is getting stuck in the what if thinking. That is, letting our minds spiral into assumptions rather than focusing on the facts. Instead of letting uncertainty take over, actively verify what's true and challenge the stories you're telling yourself. How? Do your research. Talk to trusted people. Push back on rumors and gather real information. So, for example, you want to move up in your company and you want to apply for a position that's above the one you're in, but you're unsure if you're qualified. Maybe you're worried you haven't been in the company long enough, or you assume you're not ready to fill in the role, or you fill in the blank for the reasons. Here's how to shift from assumptions to facts. 1. Get the job description. 2. Highlight the skills that you already have experience in. 3. Underline the tasks you believe you can do with confidence. And then 4, circle the areas where you lack experience. Now look at the numbers. If you highlighted over 50% of the skills required, you have a good foundation. If you underlined another 25%, the things you're confident you could do, now you're at 75%. And the remaining 25% can be learned through training, coaching, or mentoring. Just a key takeaway here. Most people are not 100% qualified when they apply for a new role. If they were, it would be a lateral move. Most managers expect gaps. And what matters is your ability to learn, identify, and adapt. By verifying what is actually required versus what you assume is required, you shift from doubt to confidence and can take meaningful action. This will also give you more confidence when you interview, as you'll be able to share what you know, the 50%, what you may not have experience specific to the role, but believe you can do with confidence, the 25%, and the areas you acknowledge that are growth areas for you, the 25%. Second, be committed to the process with timeframes. One of the biggest reasons we stay stuck is due to unclear or unrealistic timeframes. We either expect instant results or we keep waiting indefinitely, hoping for the perfect moment. Instead, set clear, realistic deadlines to create momentum. As in the example for applying for a job earlier, rather than saying, I'll apply when I feel ready, break the process into specific actions with deadlines. 1. Look for opportunities. How? Block out 1 hour a week on your calendar to look for job opportunities. Schedule it. 2. Review job descriptions. Pick a day to highlight, underline, circle key qualifications, as we talked about in step 1. 3. Set up an application deadline. Choose a firm date, put it on the calendar, when you will submit your resume or your CV. 4. Prepare for the interview. Plan how you'll address the 25% of responsibilities you believe you can handle, but haven't done so in this specific role yet. Also, the 25% that would be new to you. What is your plan to learn? These steps don't take much time, but without a plan, they will likely never happen. So by now, you've sought out the facts instead of assumptions through intentional planning. 2, you've committed to the process. But what if your decision or opportunity still feels out of reach? This is where growing your skill muscles comes in. The third item today is growing your skill muscles. A final part of active waiting is growth by strengthening your skill muscles. That is, developing your abilities that will help you move forward with confidence. As we mentioned, waiting can feel frustrating because it creates a sense of stagnation, but growth eliminates stagnation. Focus on developing the skills that will prepare you for the next step. When I'm waiting on a decision or feel overwhelmed by a distant goal, I remind myself this is the perfect time to develop skills I will need but haven't fully mastered yet. And if I grow these areas now, my next step will likely become clearer and easier to take. So let's start with how to identify your growth areas. Think about skills that would help you move forward in your career, leadership, or life. If you're stuck as to where to start, you could start with the items you circled in this job search as an example. I also want to list out here are some examples of areas I often work on with clients. Speaking and communication. People want to gain confidence in meetings, presentations, or interviews. Leading and motivation. People want to develop their abilities to inspire and guide others. Another main area is coaching and mentorship. If you want to enhance your ability to help others learn and grow. Like physical muscles, growing your skill muscles takes time and effort, but the results are worth it. I'm going to cover 5 quick steps that you can start with today to grow your skill muscles. 1, acknowledge the challenge. By asking yourself, what am I doing right now that's hard, but will make me a better leader in the future? 2, choose 1 to 2 skills to develop this year. Be realistic with how many skills you can focus on at a time. I recommend focusing on 1 or 2 key skills that will have the biggest impact on you reaching your goals. Next, step 3, set 2 action steps per skill. For example, if you want to improve public speaking, your next action steps might be join a speaking group or take a class. Fourth, put yourself in growth environments. Challenge yourself by stepping into stretching, slightly uncomfortable situations that force growth. For example, if you want to become a better leader, maybe you should volunteer to lead a project outside of your comfort zone. And lastly, number 5, progress needs to be measured monthly. Ask colleagues or mentors to rate you on a 1 to 10 scale on your target skill. Check in every month for 6 months, aiming to improve by at least 2 points in a 6-month period. When you break it down, this is not hard or complicated, but as with going to the gym, it will take intentionality and a plan. Lastly, I want to mention there will be a ripple effect of growing your skill muscles. As you develop one skill, you'll often find other areas of your life begin growing as well. Some of those side benefits will likely include increased confidence in yourself, greater competence in your skill set, and unexpected opportunities naturally opening up. It's easy to become cynical and believe that waiting means being powerless, but the truth is, many times peace of mind actually comes from just knowing you've processed a decision well. By moving from waiting to active waiting, you take control of your situation, build confidence, and gain clarity. I hope these 3 simple steps help you level up in your leadership and personal growth. Be intentional and committed because no one else will be as committed to your development as you can be. When you do this, you'll not only move forward, you will inspire others to do the same. You will become a change agent in yourself and those around you. Want to dive deeper into change agent leadership? Check out more resources and coaching services in the show notes. If today's episode was helpful, share with a colleague and leave a review. Until next time, keep leading change by growing yourself and modeling active waiting.